Right, good morning everyone. Welcome back to this shed build here. Now, last week I got all the stud work made on the Friday just for this lift here, because what I didn't want to do is expose everything underneath and try and make, what I generally do is lie them flat like this, all four walls, and then I stack them on top of one another and then lift them all up as and when I need them. But because the weather's been absolutely horrendous here, I haven't been able to do that. So my next game plan is to chip away the excess foam expansion glue here from laying the chipboard sheets. You've seen that on my last YouTube video. So tool I'm going to use for that is my trusty new Hilti multi-tool. Just all I'm going to use it is as like a scraper, just to scrape it all off, and then afterwards I will then lift up this part of the stud-book wall, anchor it to that, and then brace it up off the sleepers down to there, and then at least I'll get it reasonably plumb both ways, in both directions, and that way I know that the wall ain't going to fall over, because the wind here today is terrible. I mean, I came in this morning and I thought my gazebo was going to be okay over the weekend, but no, that gazebo there was literally on its back against the hedge, and yeah, I was a bit shocked when I came in this morning. I probably should have taken it down, to be fair, but hey ho, it's one of those things. Right, anyway, I'm going to set it up in the time lapse here, because you don't really need to see the nitty and gritty of what I'm doing. It's just taking out the expanding foam, and then after that I'll get a full video of lifting these up and getting them all braced up. Okay guys? Right, please excuse the wind guys, it's absolutely terrible today. Now all I'm going to do now is get the frame square. So simple way to do that, we know all the dimensions are exactly the same, so all we need to do is go from corner to corner of the wall that you've built. So for example, for me it's 5 meters 446. So all I want to do now is double check the other corner. All right, so I'm just going to do that, and then I can put a brace on it to make sure it's lovely and square once we tap it round. So that's 5 meters 439. Okay, so what I want to do is get a brace somewhere. Must be a bit of batten or something here we can use. Grab yourself a bit of batten. Only needs to go up one side, you know, you don't need to go all the way across it, and just get the frame lovely and square. Right. So let's put one down in this corner. I know that these screws are massive, but that way if we can. Right, double check it again. That's much better. Right, just get a couple of fixings in there. Doesn't need to be all the way through it and every single one, just a couple. Uppity we go. See what happens. Hopefully it doesn't come tumbling down. get a couple of fixings down in it just to keep it there. Right. Right, so all I'm doing is getting the wall straight. Okay guys, because you know that the ring beam down there, I know that that is lovely and straight, so all I'm doing is pulling it to that ring beam, which is that bottom one there, okay, and then getting some temporary some screws in there, and then get the thing lovely and level and brace it off. All right, okay, so that wall is kind of there. All right, we just need to check it for level, but judging from it, just looks like it needs to lean back towards me a bit, which is fine at the minute. What I want to do is get a corner on, so I'm probably going to make either that end, because I know that end hasn't got any windows in there, or it's not allowed to have any windows in there, because if I was to put windows in there, I think it falls under permitted development, so which in turn means that I would have to comply to building regs, everything on this little build here, which means bringing in oh god, I forget the name of him now. Building control officer. He has to sign it all off. He has to look at it all. He has to look at all the images that I've taken, just to make sure that I'm complying. But I'm complying with the outside wall anyway, because what I want to put is 120mm or 100mm Celotex in between all this stuff, like I did on the garden room. So it allows for surfaces in here if they ever do want to put a load of, let's say, sockets or something like that in the walls, which they probably would do, because it's going to be a bloody good shed. These will really stiffen up when you put the noggins in, and then in turn when you come to put the OSB sheets on. Now normally if I had a couple of men here, I would have put all the OSB on everywhere, so made them all up, and then we'd have all lifted them up as a team. But as you can see, I'm doing this all myself. But I just want to show you one thing. You can remember where we cut the chipboard sheets to. There's our 10mm expansion there, look. Okay, so that's our chipboard, and that's our 10mm expansion. All right, to allow for the floor to move. So I've got all my 18 studs, they are cut, they are ready to go. So all I've got to do now is mark up the plate, but if I need a reference to go off, you can't see me in a minute, hang on. So they're ready to go. So if I need a reference to go off, I can just work back off of this existing stud work wall here, because I need it to match up on the other side. So if I had all that timber out the way, then probably what I would do is mark up the center on that side and then string a line from there to there across to the middle to get those quadruple studs directly in the right line. So that means then when I put that glulam beam through, or a double beam, whatever I'm going to do there, it's going to be lovely and true through there. It's going to be lovely and parallel and square, because what you want is those rafters to come and butt up lovely and true. You don't want them out of kilter like this, because what you'll see when you cut your plumb cuts and you're cutting them at 90 degrees and the pitch angle that you want, you'll find that they might be ever so slightly twisted. So one side of the timber might be open or closed. Let me just show you that with an offcut. Right. Let's just cut a piece of timber here at whatever degrees it cuts it at. Okay, so pretend this is my ridge and pretend that this is a common rafter. Okay, so if you're looking down over the top of it like this, and also you see that your building isn't quite true, isn't quite square, what you'll see when you come to cut your cuts and you're marking them completely parallel off of one another, you know, you can be doing all the right things, except your building might not be completely true, and you'll see an opening like that on your plumb cuts. So you don't want to see that, guys. Okay, you want to take as much time over it as possible, you know, and just get it right the first time. Don't just rush it just because you're rushing to get it finished. Just take your time and get it done right the first time. You know, we're only human at the end of the day. We are not robots. Right, okay. So I'm going to lift around those 5x4s now, just 2 of them. Cut them off square. Cut them to the size I need, which is 5 meters and 32. Okay, and then work my way back off one corner, and I'm just going to work off the front elevation of this shed and work my way back. Okay, and then use that as a reference guide for the gable wall that side. And then when I come to lift it all up, I'll make sure I'll remark front gable wall or front elevation to gable wall, whatever, just so I know that it is that side that I need to put in first, if you see what I mean, guys. Okay. Right, now that we've marked the first one, just going to simply measure to the desired length, which is 5 meters and 32. Okay, then we need to come back 128 millimeters in to allow for that that first stud. I'm just going to pick up the corners. I've shown you before in the previous section of the video. Always want to try and pick up your corners if you can, guys, because otherwise you've only got one stud to anchor to, and that's not good on a timber frame like this. So you want to come 45 millimeters in first. Just there. Let's get that marked off. And then you want to come, that's our first stud. So that's right on the very corner of the building. And then you want to come in 128 to the first one, which is there. So, if I just show you what that would represent. So, this is the end stud part of the wall, so that's the bottom plate, top plate, whatever you want to do, and that's the next stud. So what that would represent, look, is an anchor point for me to be able to fix the next part of the wall off. All right, so pretend that's the opposite stud running this way, that direction. You've got something to anchor into. Also, I'm going to have some studs up there, like a space in between like that, in between the noggins, to get something up there, guys. Okay, and then there will be Celotex in here to stop any cold bridging. All right, so like that, anchor, anchor, and then you can continue up with your stud work and go all the way down to the bottom and represent that on on the opposite corner. All right, it's as easy as that. Do that and you cannot go wrong. If you bring it back another 22mm, it will cover the whole face, which means you'd have to put another stud here, and it's just wasting timber. Okay, try and be as efficient and as economical with your timbers as you possibly can. Okay, don't waste timber if you can avoid it. All those timbers over there, move it all the way to this side, and then that'll give me enough room then to lay everything flat, get it all fixed up, and brace it and lift it up. Same process as this one here, and now I'm going to be doing the same for the inside. It's actually going to help me as you come to lift it up. It's going to push the walls out where I need them to go, which would be a huge benefit for me, really, especially when you're trying to do things by yourself. It's quite tricky. Right. Right, here comes the funny bit, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can get it up there. Whew. Nope. Let's see if we can get it up first. Wow, definitely felt like I had my wheat bix. There you have it. Just need to give it a little pull. That's it. Right, so all I'm doing now, guys, is just fixing where the joists are. Okay. Just so it don't blow over. And plus, like I said at the beginning of this video, it's the strongest part because it's all anchored to everything. You want to continue that all the way up. Battery is getting a bit tired. What I'm going to do for this evening, because it's getting a little bit dark now, I'm going to brace up along the back, okay, all the way to the end, because I've got some 5.4 metre lengths here, and just stick it on top there and brace it up, and then get the thing level as well. Okay, I need like 14,000 tripods on every end. It's a shame my drone isn't working. If my drone was working, I'd get a nice shot of it going up. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Right, okay. End up missing one, don't you? Right. Okay, so I'm just going to measure the outside. All right. Then what I can do is just put a gauge line on that 5.4 metre. So outside is 5 meters and 30. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these 5.4 meters, make sure it goes up round the right way for the crown, and mark up 5.4 meters, 5 meters and 30, sorry. So and the best way just to go either side, okay, is to measure the entire length. So in my case it's 5 meters 415. So you go to the desired measurement, which is 5 meters and 30. Okay. And then all you do, you measure what that is. So in my case it's 383, and then you just divide that by 2. So that is 191. Okay. So 191. Get it in the middle, okay, whichever one you want to go on. Okay, now I need some hop-ups. Bear with me. I have to go get some hop-ups. For once, I can't see where I'm going. Just out of curiosity, guys. Just wondered how many steps you guys do in a day. Right. And what's your sort of like go calorie sort of burn? Alright. It's just there. Right. Let's have a little look. See what it's like. I'll tell you what, guys, that, just take my word for it, is not bad. Like this end. It does need to go over a teeny tiny bit, but you know, there's still quite a lot of movement in there. What I'll do tonight, I'll get a brace up there, down this side. Can't really get one on there, but I'll fix it down there somewhere, and get the same on the opposite end, and that should hopefully help it somewhat for tonight. All right, welcome back, guys. Now I've assembled this rear section of the shed, and what I've done, I've put some temporary braces up, coming up the projection, so when I come to lift this up it doesn't fall forward and potentially damage the fence. And then I've done one there, and it's all braced around the sides and on the top, you've seen in the previous portion of the video, and there, and we've got the brace up there, and we've got another one down that end. So hopefully when I lift this up it will just pop into that little pocket there, and then I can anchor it and get it all fixed off. But let's just see how it goes. Right, there you go. I'm just gonna give it some taps and get it around there. Get it around the corner. There you go. Obviously it's just gone a little bit too long on the angle, so it needs to come round a little bit, but here we go. Right, tap it that way so it doesn't fall back towards me. Same down there, give it a little push, and give it a little love tap. Oh! Ho. And that is how we like to play that game. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's lovely and level on the top there. That's good. And it's lovely and level there. So you can see when this goes around the corner, it gives you a fixing point for the internal part of your stud work. Okay, guys? So I can fix my OSB off on the inside there, and then I've still got another half fixing there, so it all works out pretty sweet. Now I was pleased with that. Now it's time to do the front.